The Zion Church congregation in Joliet is celebrating its 75th anniversary this year. You would all feel at home in their services as I did. They still sing a lot of the old hymns to the old tunes in translation with many verses. We were hard put to remember the English words. But the tunes are the same. And oh my, how well they do sing. Today, the Presbyterian Church in Canada is a partner with the Church of North India. And through PWS&D and the Women's Missionary Society, we're continuing to support their work.
Thank you, Margaret. It's wonderful to hear about the growth and the strength of the gospel and the very personal story of Dr. Deborah Teslow, and the way in which the WMS helped her is very inspirational. And finally, for Helen, what are the most pressing needs in the Beale region today?
The needs are many. Hospital care is one of the most pressing needs. In Jobat, we were present for the dedication of the critical care unit, or ICU, as we would call it. Monies for this unit were raised in 2006 when Dr. Deborah Teslow came to Canada, and with Wilma Welsh, former moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Canada, took her to many meetings and rallies, raising money for this critical care unit. And the WMS in Toronto also gave towards this unit. At the same time as that dedication, a pediatric ICU was also dedicated. And monies for this project came from a memorial for a little 3-year-old, Sam Travis Miller. Sam was the son of Sarah Travis and Paul Miller. And at the time he became sick, Sarah was minister at Knox Church Grove. And Sam was a year and a half in and out of hospital with liver problems. And he died on his 3rd birthday. Donations in the amount of this memorial was $22,000 plus were raised. Sarah and her father Neil Travis from Windsor, who were with us, were present for this dedication. The WMS sponsored 2 of the nurses who graduated at the capping ceremony we attended. The nursing program at the Jobat Hospital trains nurses assistants. They must continue their education to become RNs. We visited at the Christian Hospital in Indore, which is one of these hospitals that trains RNs. A new school was built and dedicated when Wilma Welsh was moderator. Monies for this also came from WMS, and each group was asked to send monies to sponsor children to go to school. The school presently goes to grade 10. Their hope is to be able to add another floor to the building in order to have classes for grades 11 and 12. The group was very concerned about the conditions at the hostel in Jobat for school children. At this time, it is not on the school and hospital grounds, but in the village. The children go to school from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., and they were all there to greet us. Parents in India want their children to get an education. Many of the children have to live away from home and live at the hostel. The parents pay 40 rupees a month for a child to stay at the hostel. That is less than $2 Canadian. There aren't any beds for the children to sleep on at the hostel, only concrete floors with very thin mats under them and very few blankets. And it was cold. We were there in January, February. Wilma Welsh is working to set up funds for donations to get beds and also to build a new hospital. The hope is that the hostel would be built on the mission grounds. She is also looking to bring the minister at the Jobat Church, Emmanuel Ariel, to Canada in order that he may go about speaking at different rallies and raise funds for this project. And we will hear more about this trip to India and how you can help, the Presbyterian is holding the spring rally here at St. Andrew's Kitchener on Monday, May 12th at 7 p.m. And there are 5 of us who are on the trip will be making a presentation at that time. All are welcome on May the 12th.
Thank you, Helen and Margaret and Emily, for your presentations today and for your courage in going to India. I hope that in listening to what these, our sisters, have said, you'll have some sense of what it is to walk with people in a time of need and to recognize how the presence of God and the presence of the Christian church lifts people up and heals them and changes entire societies in wonderful ways. And I hope that you're excited about that and that in your daily life you are thinking to yourself, how can I help those who need me? Later on this year, in July, another member of this congregation, one of our youth, Nick Whiffin, will be going on a mission trip to Kenya. The purpose of the trip will be to strengthen health and educational facilities in rural Kenya. The trip that Nick is going to be taking is sponsored by Leaders Today, and that's an incredibly great organization. It was founded by Craig Kielberg. And I'm sure you remember that back in 1995, when Craig Kielberger was just 12 years old, he founded the organization Free the Children. And he built that organization in response to hearing about the death of Iqbal Masai, who at the age of 12 was murdered because he had protested against the fact that he had been working from the age of 4 as a slave in a carpet mill in Pakistan. What Craig Kielberger has done is phenomenal in terms of making the developed world aware of the struggles of people in developing nations. Nick states that by going on this trip, he wants to make a difference at an international level, and he wants to experience firsthand what it means to be struggling for survival in the rural areas of Kenya.